Having written and produced over 200 songs online, I've come to learn some of the best music production tips there are for beginners. I've chosen 3 of them in this video that are my favorites that I think could dramatically improve your music, and one of them offers you a free resource plan too, so check that one out at the end of the video. Let's start with the first one though. Do you wonder why sometimes your productions feel so bare and empty, like a dark, cold cavern? You kind of wonder how your favorite songs can sound so big and full and so wide, right? But they still seem so very minimalistic. So what's going on here? Well, we need to know what BFW is and how to use it. So what is BFW and what the heck does it stand for? It stands for big width. No, I'm kidding. Big fullness width. So I'm going to show you a few different ways now that you can add some BFW to your songs without having to do too much extra work. Let's take an example. So let's say you're producing a song that includes maybe a vocal and a guitar part here, and you want to add some more BFW. Here's one thing that you can do. You can add a very wet sound, let's say, that can sit behind your guitar and vocal. This note should be the root note of your song because you're just going to play one note. And my song is in D major here, so as the example, we'll be doing a D note. I'm going to come back to this synth pad, but I want to just show you what I did for this song. If you want to have a bit of a challenge and go a step further, is I actually sang the D note to be my bass kind of BFW sound in the background. And I thought, because first I like singing and I wanted to record that note, and I was able to add plugins to the voice to make it sound wide and cool. Okay, so it's this sound down here, the Atmos. Just zoom in so you see it. And this is actually me singing here. Super vibey, right? And very atmospheric. So go ahead and sing that note if you have the confidence. If not, what you can do here is add a software instrument, track, new software instrument track, and go to the synth pad library, which is under synthesizer is the root folder, then go pad. These are pretty good. The sounds here, you might have to fiddle through some ones that sound good and will fit the vibe of your song. But this one, Airways here, which I'm just playing a D, one D note in a lower octave. So it sounds like this. And if I just lower the volume in behind my guitar, it sounds cool and behind these acoustics and the vocal here. And I'm going to mute it on and off so you can hear the difference. I'll go loud and then I'll go soft.
I want to tell you something, but I don't know where to begin. The voices inside my head, I haven't sorted through them yet. No one told me love ain't always an easy road.
Pretty cool, right? Very subtle, but adding space in the background and width, BFW. But now you have another problem. How do you get the BFW to actually sound good? For example, you don't want to just blindly follow my directions and have a sound like this. Yuck. No good. So in order to circumvent that, we really need to know the second music production tip, which is getting great sounds. But first, how do you even identify good sounds from bad sounds? Let's take a few examples and I'll show you 3 action questions you can use whenever you're pondering whether the sound is good or bad. But in order for me to show you, I need to tell you a story about my brother. Years ago, when we were growing up, my mom would make us the most delicious chocolate cake for our birthdays, but my brother would always tell my mom not to make the cake for his birthday. Why did he say that? Well, it's because he preferred apple pie instead of cake. And he's a normal dude. Well, kind of, but he just prefers pie over cake, and there's no harm in that. So when it comes to your sounds, there's going to be a lot of like pie versus cake situations. You might pick a sound that you really like, but the guy next to you hates. On the other hand, someone also might fall in love with it too. So here's what I would suggest. Follow these action questions to help you choose if the sound might be good or bad for your song. Number 1, do you like the sound? Honestly, this could be the only question you need to ask yourself. If you like it, stick with it. The hiccup here is when you're just beginning, a lot of things might sound good when in reality there is some room for improvement. So keep watching here. Number 2, does it have BFW? Is it big, full, wide? Does it have character? The thing is, when it comes to BFW, we can find a sound at the source with these characteristics, or we can add plugins too to get similar results. For example, here's a sound without much BFW. Now, if I add some plugins, which include reverb, delay, distortion, and formant shifting, things to give it character, we can get this. Specifically, reverb and delay are going to add a lot of BFW. So what's the third action question to choosing sounds? Well, does the sound have a good performance? This is very important if you're recording your own sounds and less important for samples, right? But if you are recording, do your best to focus on the performance of your playing, specifically the timing and feel. Really get into that groove to nail the performance. Many times, bad sound recordings come down to the timing and feel. So why did I decide to sing the note here instead of just go ahead and find like a VST or some other instrument to play? Honestly, the real reason why was because it's authentic and unique to the sound, and I like to record stuff like that. But the other reason would be I just stumbled on the sound. For example, I had this Vox Space sound here, this big choir sound. I thought that was just lots of BFW, but so I just found a sample of that song singing the D note, and I created the atmosphere out of that. In your songs, try to recycle sounds that you have already within your production. You don't always have to add new sounds or new instruments on top. You can use the ingredients you already have in your song, finding a little bit of a guitar sound, using that as a sample, or your voice, or maybe you have a piano sound, and recycling it, reversing it, adding reverb, stretching it, using the ingredients you already have in the song can just make it add a bit more glue to the song because it's already has the texture of the song. It's something already in the song. So now that you know what questions to ask for choosing sounds and how to add some BFW, I'm going to show you the third production tip that will help you finish more music so that you can start seeing the compounding results of becoming a much better music producer. So what is the one thing you absolutely need when you're building a house? Without it, builders, contractors, designers, even the owners are completely lost. The blueprint to the house provides the structure. Once I started adding the blueprint structure to my music process, it felt like I had control and I was no longer asking what do I do next? So here are 3 structural things that I would build into your music production blueprint. Number 1, try to finish the song outside of Logic first. For example, finish the song structure, tempo, melody, and lyric before beginning the production. I like to do this on my acoustic guitar and just check them all off before I even jump into Logic. This really helps me give a direction and starting point so I'm not second guessing these things inside Logic. By the way, this one does get complicated a bit because if you'd rather start writing a song in Logic, then I guess this one does get a bit debunked. So all good there. Number 2, make a voice memo of your song before you actually start recording anything in Logic. This captures the original moment of your song, and it's a great reference to have for the future. Sometimes I often get into too much of a build mode and I lose sight of what I was creating in the first place. So it's often great to have that initial moment of the recording that you had from the voice memo. Number 3, build a physical structure in Logic by using markers. This doesn't sound like a lot, but visually seeing it helps a ton. It gives focus and direction on what the song structure is and how to build it out production-wise. I've built a checklist within a Logic Pro template that you can download for free below. So use this as your blueprint to build out your next song production. The thing is though, the BFW, sound selection, and blueprint are only going to get you so far, right? Once you have all these things, you still need to go and mix your song. So watch this video right here. I'm going to teach you 3 genius Logic Pro mixing tips that really leveled up my mixing game. And finally, I was able to get just songs out the door and into the world. So enjoy.